Hi everybody, you need to draw a contestable market, more specifically a perfectly contestable market and the outcomes in such a market. Students tend not to like this very much and I don't really understand why. It's not that difficult a diagram to draw. So, what's important to start with is knowing what you're trying to draw. And what you're trying to draw is a movement towards normal profit levels as a result of this market being perfectly contestable. It's important you understand the theory behind this before you start drawing, so do watch my previous video on contestable markets to understand. Let's get started with the construction of this diagram. On the y-axis we have price, costs and revenue. On the x-axis we have quantity. Now what you're drawing basically is a monopoly diagram. So your revenue curves first, AR equals D, marginal revenue twice as steep. Then you draw your smiley face average cost, which looks like that. Then your marginal cost, which is like a Nike tick, but cuts AC at its lowest point. Next, you need to draw the profit maximizing level of output. So what you're trying to show here is a monopoly market which will move to more efficient outcomes if it was perfectly contestable. So to start with, you need to show the monopolists' price and quantity if they were producing in a non-contestable market. We'll call that Q1 and P1. Now, you need to show the examiner, in a perfectly contestable market, how would outcomes change? Well, the supernormal profits being made here will incentivize entry into the market, and more competition will put this firm off making supernormal profits. So if this market was perfectly contestable, then this monopolist would ensure that they produce at a level where only normal profit is being made. That then disincentivizes entry into the market and it puts firms off entering, which maintains this monopolist's position as the dominant supplier. So where is the normal profit level, the break-even point? Well, that occurs where average revenue is equal to average cost. So a perfectly contestable market will always operate here, where AC equals AR. So let's call that QC and PC. That is your contestable market diagram with perfectly contestable outcomes here. Lower prices and higher quantities just because the threat of competition is so high, which puts firms off making supernormal profits. If there's perfect contestability, firms would operate at the break-even level, also known as the entry limit price. So, we've done the diagram. Let's now check that the diagram is finished. Have we aced it? Have we labelled our axis? Yes, we have. Have we labelled our curves? Yes, we have. Have we labelled our relevant equilibria? Yes, we have. We've labelled the profit max equilibria and the perfectly contestable equilibria. Lovely. Have we shown that we are operating now at normal profit because this market is perfectly contestable? Yes, we have. Lovely. In which case we are done. Make sure you draw your diagrams really big using a pencil and a ruler. I'm sure you have. You're a good economist, right? If you're watching this video, you must be a good economist. Trying to get ahead of the game. Well done, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.